Testing 1, 2. I don't know what happened. That wasn't me. That was OBS. I literally thought about it. I thought the whole time, I'm like, I'm going to hit that button. I am not screwing that up today. I hit it, and then I hit the button. I'm like, mute, and then go. And the universe is against me, okay? Okay? My computer hates me. It's just, I'm the sad sack, so there, deal with it. That's okay. Which is the technical term, by the way. Look it up. It's actually an interesting technical term. Gamer night. How you doing, man? Good to see you, Samus. Well, what I was gonna say, Girk, is that yeah, I agree that within a genre, what's the best game, right? But honestly, it's like there's no such thing. It really has to do with your crowd, your interests, whatever. Like, there's a reason that people, 100,000 people are watching Minecraft right now. It's because Minecraft is super popular and just seems to be ever present, and everybody likes it, and it works for every age, and that's great. But like, if you go look, or Grand Theft Auto 5, a zillion people are watching it. But if you go watch like any of the new games, they'll go to whap, boom, and then down. It's like the staying power just isn't there. I don't know what kind of audience I have, man. I don't know. That's why I'm not stressing about it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be doing just sort of some consistent stuff and working my way toward just I know, that's it. The game has always been a conduit for wasting time until somebody says something. Like, that's what it has become. It's not like I want to, like, I have done it before where we just talking, and then the stream's over. It's just that at 2 o'clock, almost invariably, the conversation ends. Hey, River. Kept trying to join a breakout, but it wasn't being nice. I had 2 people there. I was simultaneously relieved and disappointed. There's a few things working against me. Number one, I was at the absolute bottom of the list. And so you'd have to scroll past a lot of interesting things before you hit me. It's at 35. It's at 35. I picked 35. It's at 35. I don't know what else I can do. 35 is the number. We agreed on it. Someone, yeah, D2. We're gonna, it's a big game. I let it download all last night, and I was like, let's play D2, send. And then I looked over, and I'm like, oh, it's only 3/4 downloaded. Bummer. I'm gonna go for a shower. And then it's good now. I think you play something like Destiny, Path of Exile, Diablo, blah. No. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's the thing, right, dude? Is that apparently a lot of people play D2. I'm still very new at it. I played it 3 years ago. So when I first started, I went, oh, Aki's doing it. Aki's smart. Aki popular. I will be like Aki. And I joined it, and I played it for a little bit, and I was like, not my bag. That's okay. I'll find something else, and that's whatever. But talk bullfighting, I can't. Well, I actually can do okay. Well, like FPSing, first person shooting, because it's really just put cursor in right spot, click, click. But at the same time, yeah, it's a little bit noisy and a whole lot of stuff. That's why, for me anyway, the game is always just a conduit for conversation or a way to kill time until the conversation starts. Wednesday is community day, and I have historically struggled like crazy to find a community game. Okay? Are you? That's good, yeah. So many people mentioned Bunny's butt being a thing that I couldn't help not seeing it. So I'm like, fine. I was just shooting stuff. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, well, did you notice? Did you notice? Did you notice? And I'm like, I guess. I just wanted to play a game. And I haven't played a looter shooter for a while. I have Borderlands 3, I think, which I heard is pretty good. Yeah, well, and that's it. It was a gacha game, and I'm like, as soon as I saw the gacha stuff, it wasn't as bad though. Like, it wasn't. I didn't feel the sense of FOMO because I was still doing the story. Good, yeah. Well, exactly. Exactly. So I'm gonna try Destiny, and the reason is because I'm looking for games to play as a community. So games that I can like collab with, games that I can hang out with other creators and talk about because we have a similar thing. Or with people who play it, and also other games that are like basically like things that we can do together. And I've had a hard time with that for literally years, because I if I have a lurk army, then they're not going to play, and if I'm playing by myself on a multiplayer game, that looks weird. Like if you start marbles and like 3 people are in it, then I'm like, that I'm just like, it makes me feel like it's a waste of time. So it's just, I'm always trying to find the right thing, but this new system that I've got going now is very friendly to that. Yeah, thank you, DJ, and thank you for everybody who has recognized. It's crazy. It's my affiliate anniversary. That tells you how far it was between my first stream and when I got affiliate. How many days was that? Because that was last Sunday the 22nd. Is that when that was? So that's how long it took me to get affiliate, from when we did my anniversary thing on Sunday to today. That's how long it took. It was great. Because I did it right. And I'm not patting myself on the back. I didn't know what I was doing back then. It just seemed like the right thing to do. And that was, I refused to stream to 0. I always stream to 3. Only one issue with gaming Destiny, the game is complete and over. Like, I thought they finished the entire story and stuff, but the live service part I thought was ending. I thought they just released a big thing and everybody got mad at it. E2 has game modes where you can get to a flow state and hold conversations with these. I was watching Aki last night because I'm trying to be a good boy and watch more streamers. Something I have not been great at over the last bunch of months here, as I stressed out. So that's good. I'm glad. This does not look good for my hiatus. I see, right? It all comes in waves. But we'll see. Yeah, it was nice to see you in chat too. That was really cool, DJ. I 100%ed it. Had all the warmer ARPA, full build, every character, every mission, top rank. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. You say that, I don't even notice anymore. I'm like, yeah, okay, so you were the best in the world at it, or whatever. I'm the opposite. I'm the worst at all the things. I'm the lowest. So there. I have my own kind of record. So there. I get bored watching streamers that I'm not talking to in chat, and I agree. And I do the same thing. That's why I have this screen. I have this screen right here. This one. This is where the game is. Like, if you look in the background, that's the actual, like, that's my screen. And that's so I can pause the game and talk right at your face. That's and have it kind of in the background waiting. Used to PvP on MTA Sheds. I don't know what that is. What is that? So much content. I'm looking forward to but it's going to take me 3 years before I can get to the new content. This game has been around for a long time. Hello, Shadow. Good to see you. So I'm literally, I had that talk today set up, and calm down, music. Yeah, so I did that talk today. So I talked to Jeff. Jeff's like, you want to be on, in a workshop? Cool. There was 25 other workshops or something. And so there's already a ton of people. There were 200, when I looked, there were about 200 and 300 people watching. No, probably not Jeff, there are 200 or 300 people watching. 300 people watching. And so when he went into breakouts, he was, as with all conferences, he was late. And so we got into it about 12:10 maybe, 12:05. Jeff from Church Digital. And so the thing was supposed to end at 12:30. So like I'm like he told me they'd put together a 45-minute talk conversation and whatnot for this presentation, and then I had 20 minutes to do it. So I come in. Of course, you wait for it to kind of fill up, and there's 2 people there. I'm like, all right, well, I guess we got to get started. And so I just kind of got started. And by the time I got to the bottom, I'd answered a couple questions and talked a little bit about it. All of a sudden, you're leaving in 6 seconds, and I'm like, man, I had 3/4 of a presentation left. And I'm like, what am I going to do with that? I feel like somebody went ready, aim, and then walked out of the building and never came back, you know? And then I'm just sitting there with my gun like, I want to shoot it. So I don't know. It's up to you guys. I could give it here, or we could talk, or we can do something else. It's up to you. I should do a poll, whether or not you want me to do the presentation, or whether or not you guys have, because it's community day, right? So if it's, what are you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? -45? I don't think so. This is 35. Is this too loud? I would be surprised if it's too loud. Maybe I turn myself up a little bit. And then, I don't know, because I'm in the green and the yellow. That was really, really fast, you know, and I'm like, bummer. So I'll do a quick poll. I don't know how many people are in chat right now. Okay, that's enough people to do a poll. Hello, Disco. Flash. Poll. Do you want to see... do you want to... No, just not do you want to see, because you're not going to see so much. You want to watch me do presentation? Community topic? Community AMA? Destiny 2. There you go. Are you prepared for a poll? 3, 2, go. Room turns blue. That means we're doing a poll. As long as it's blue, we're doing a poll. Yeah, I feel like it wasn't really well planned out. Also, they're trying to work and listen. No, I mean, every conference does that, right? So every conference does the same thing. And always, the first session always goes long. You get the main guy there, and he's got a lot to get through. And so it ends up going late. Usually what they do is they do a little announcement. They're like, we're going to just extend things by 10 minutes so that people can do their thing. And then, come back. And because there's walk time and talk time and people can kind of meander, you could be late for the session if you wanted to. Wouldn't be a big deal. You say, you know what? I'm sitting here. I'm going to talk to this guy. I'm enjoying this guy. I'll be in the next session when I'm in the next session. You can't do that with that software. That software, is it too loud, eh? Okay, we'll go down to 40. 40. Let me know if that's better. So that software, it's just, you can be in the main hall or... All right, we can do that. So what's the result? Okay, there you go. You can do the main session or the breakout. You can't do them at the same time. It's amazing software. I think Taco's going to use it. That was really cool because it was it really, like, everybody was like in a little chair. It looked like a little auditorium with all the people in it, and then everybody was like in a little chair, and then like the presenter was on the top corner, and there was like a live chat going. And then when he went, okay, everybody go to the breakout rooms, there was 2 things. One was tables. People could literally just go talk at a table, 4 people to a table, and just kind of chat and hang out. And there could be people, hey Donnie, thank you. Yeah, apparently, yeah. And then there was the breakout room. And so I was in a breakout room. I joined like I was one of the participants, and I just started talking. So like it was cool. Like I thought the software was really slick, but the downside was not being able to stay in the breakout rooms during the other talk. Like because that's 90% of conferences isn't even the stuff you're hearing. Like the stuff you're hearing is good. It kind of binds everything together when it comes to the, sort of the cohesive thought, but it's the people that you're talking to in the side area that you're sitting with, and the person you bump into, and new friend, new contact, the workshop guy that you just like spoke to you completely. and then, being hyped up by the bands and stuff. Like, it's very cool. 8-hour affiliate stream. Yeah, dude, I did mine. I already did my fourth anniversary. We agreed as streamers that the affiliate anniversary isn't nearly as important as the anniversary of the first stream. Affiliate's a Twitch thing, right? It's fun to get. You have to apply. They have to get back to you. You have to get a certain thing. But honestly, the very first stream, to me, that's a more momentous event. But like I said before, I just did my 4th anniversary, so it's kind of interesting that this is how long it took me to get affiliate. From whenever that was on the Sunday to today, that's how long it took me to get affiliate, which is kind of cool. Like, it's actually very surprising and pretty neat that God did that. But yeah. It's interesting to see the spatial side as well. I used to play around in Second Life for years. Yeah, it's I know. Did you watch the VR thing? That's kind of cool. Alter's robust video com. Yeah, Alter's cool. Very cool. Very cool. I think when we do the digital taco con, which we've talked about a few different times, when we launch, we're gonna do like a kind of a tester. We're gonna do that at some point. You lagged out. I got booted twice. Yeah, I was in the conference and all of a sudden just like, no. And so I just F5 back in. It was no big deal. But it was a kind of a pain. It didn't happen during my session though. So that's what I was worried about. All of a sudden I get booted and I have to go find my session again. I decided to try streaming yesterday. It went well and cool, but I still got a lot to figure out here and there. It's a hobby. It's if you do it as a hobby and whatnot, there's endless amounts to learn. Yeah, and then they'll change everything. Hi, Jones. All right, let me get my notes together. Hold on. Edge. Am I launching Microsoft Edge because Office works better in Edge? I don't launch Office. I launch Edge, and then I use it as Office, which is dumb. I didn't just do it as a hobby. Oh, that's it, right? Is that if you're not dedicating your life to it, right? Then you're never gonna not stop learning, because as soon as you're like, I'm back on, it's Saturday and it's been a week or two and I'm back on and everything's like, wow, it's changed now because now you can't do this, you can't do that, and like, oh, okay, cool. Hey, Gary, good to see you. What we're doing right now is, for kicks and giggles, I'm gonna give my actual presentation of what I said, what I was gonna say in the thing, and then when I'm done the thing, yeah. Yeah. Oh, where's my notes? Hold on, I gotta pull up my Gamma. It's very cool. I don't know if you guys have used Gamma yet. It's very cool. You take your notes from like your entire thing and you throw them into Gamma, and it just makes PowerPoint. No, this one's for the conference I just did. Like literally an hour ago. Instead of a new gamer chair, you can get the ultimate gamer bed. Yeah, I know, right? I would turn into a blob. I would be an actual blob man. It would be unattractive and gross and horrible. All right, let's see if I can turn this thing on and get her going. Eat her done. Display. Make them go. Present. Or give me present. One of the two. I don't care which. Okay, we're gonna go. Okay, we're gonna go to a weird thing. No, we're not. Where are we gonna go? Let's go here. Yeah. I have PowerPoint. It's lame. You guys want to see PowerPoint, or do you want to just see the notes? Problem is, if I do the notes, they gotta be off to the side, right? So I can actually, you know what? They don't. I know how to fix this. We'll do this. Whoop, no. Aha. I know exactly what to do. I'm smart. Here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. No. There it is. That's the stuff. Cool. Thank you for the lurk. Appreciate it. I'm gonna do that. It's not gonna be perfect. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But we are, we'll do our best. I will do my best to give the presentation and in a good way. The gooder you, betterness. It is a very cool AI thing. Like, it was neat to watch. Like, you just stick your stuff in there and all of a sudden it's like, I'm like, that was actually pretty slick. And it kind of did a good job. I'm amazed. Yeah, literally. It's really neat. You should check it out. It's called Gamma, GAMMA.app. And it's very cool. Oh no! You got kicked out of the event. You got in your car, now you have a flat tire on the side of the road. That sucks. You waiting for a tow truck? Aw. Don't judge my PowerPoint. I didn't make it. It's the computer's fault. Okay? That sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. Warrior was actually a speaker too. I don't know what he was talking about, but he was a speaker there too. And so that's kind of cool. How do you decide what your focus will be? The content creator? I feel like I'm held back by zero focus. You're asking the wrong guy, Kirk. I'm a variety streamer. I do all the things and I do them all wrong. It's like if I were to dedicate myself to a singular mission, like a singular project of streaming, I think it would be infinitely easier. But if you're gonna do variety streaming, where you're here, you're there, different topics, different games, different plans, indie stuff, looking for things, it's the hardest way to do it. Oh, thank you. Flat. Whoa, wrong. Using the wrong keyboard there, Jim. All right. There we go. Thank you. Ta-da! Good enough. It's broken, but I'll fix it later. Wife does not want me to change a tire. Why not? One person showed I had two. Ah! 100% more. I had the issue. I think I had an issue where they were just like, I was at the bottom of the list and nobody knows who I am. Other than being obscure and at the very bottom, I think I would have done fine. I don't know if it should be a variety or not. I really don't know what I should be doing or what I want to do sustainable and worth doing. Depends on what your goal is. Like, it all comes down to, and Gurka asked, by the way, is Ukulele, are you here? If Ukulele's here, give me a thumbs up in chat. She said no. Oh, bummer. Okay, well, that makes sense. But like in class, what you'll basically learn is that you're not looking for the right content. What you're looking for, the altar here was SOXN like mad. I don't know what any of those words mean, but I like the last three. I'll take that. So, okay. So if you take the class, what you're doing is you're trying to discover who you are, where you've been and what you want to communicate, who your audience is, the audience that God has placed in front of you, and where you want to bring them. That's the entire class. It really is in a nutshell. And so it's like, you basically sit down and you go, okay, who is Gurkenstiel? What made you special? What makes you special as a person? What did God make you differently? What are your gifts? What are your talents? What parts of you are broken? What parts of you are being repaired? Second, right? What do you bring to the table? What are your skills? Like, what will people come and watch you for that makes you exceptional according to other, than other people. There's a million people playing Fortnite. Why should they watch you play Fortnite? There's a million people doing cooking streams. Why should they watch your cooking stream, right? And then who's your audience comes to, basically the people, who do you want to have in the audience? Because if it's, I want everybody, that's a terrible reason. And you're always going to feel bad, and you're never going to be enough, and you won't know if you're accomplishing anything. The question is, who's the audience you want to serve? Who's the audience you want to gather? Who's the audience you want to take care of? Who's the audience that you want to hang out with? What are those people like? Who do you reach out to? Normally what it is, it's who you are, who you were, back in the day, and where you've come, right? So it's, who were you? Thank you, Swag. Appreciate it. You were bullied, or you were lost, or you were a single parent, or you're divorced, or you are struggling with mental health issues, or learning disabilities, or whatever, right? And now you've learned a lot more. Now you're in a different place. Now you understand community. Now you don't want to do things better and different, and you want to bring people along. That's the fourth part. How do you bring people along to get to where you are? What is the conduit? What is the content that brings people along? And those things need to all line up, right? Because if you don't have a message, what's the point of having an audience? If you don't know who you are, how are you going to know what to do? If you have an audience and you have a message, but you're not attracting them because you're in the wrong spot, what was the point? Like, all four of those need to be kind of in alignment to create your content, which is your content that God put together for you, that he wants you to build. And it's not go copy someone else. It's not what am I good at and everybody's going to come watch. It is more bigger than that. And if you can't take the class, Kirk, we have the book, obviously, but B, we're releasing the book chapters as audio, free audiobook. We're releasing the audiobook for free on the podcast. Have we uploaded that yet, Samus? Is that up? So I missed every taco class. Hey, you gotta be in the. I've told you before. If you're not paying attention to the announcements, then you're gonna miss it, because that class fills up fast. Because everybody is the only one. The only one. So therefore, it's gonna go fast. Sam, do you have a time that you're gonna be able to put that together and get that uploaded? Because it'll be chapter 1 that's coming out next on the Taco Talks podcast. I should probably take a day and restructure my brand then. I feel like I'm wasting potential, not actually working towards something. Yeah. Well, don't restructure your brand. Just ask yourself questions about you. Who are you? Because they're coming to see you. And what do you want to say? Because you want it to be valuable. And who do you want in the audience? And where do you want to bring them? Right? And to do that, if you add all that up together, this is my message, and this is my audience, and this is what I bring to the table, and this is what I want to do, then the content you make will flow naturally out of that, right? Because say, for example, you have a heart for young men, right, between the ages of 17 and 27, who are single and hurt and like borderline incel, and that's what you were, but God saved you from it. Now you're in a better place, still struggling, but still you're doing well. But that's kind of the group that you're like, man, those guys are really rough, and I know there's a way out. You know what I mean? And so therefore, those are the people I want. So if you're like, okay, so then what message do you want to give? Right? What message do you want to give? And okay, well, I want to give the message: you are loved. There is life outside of some chick, or there's life outside of just thinking that you are, unloved or whatever. Like, there is love for you. God loves you. I love you, and I want you to know that. And then where do I want to bring them? Well, I want to bring them to a place of healing and health and community, where they have a sense of confidence and they can move on with their life without feeling like crap all the time. Okay, now knowing that, what's the best play? What are those guys into? What are those guys into? So if you go jump into Fortnite probably not going to be there. You go stream like some kind of, you stream cooking streams, they're probably not going to be there. You go do, anything. Where are they? Well, they're playing Call of Duty, or they're playing some kind of competitive shooter, or they're in and each one of those subgenres. Like, they're not in Minecraft. You could love Minecraft, to be great at Minecraft, but if the message you want to give and the people you want to attract and all the rest of that stuff isn't in Minecraft, do not stream Minecraft. But you could be able to go, okay, this is the one these are the people I want to, where are they? Because if your heart's for the inner city, you shouldn't make a suburb church. If your heart is for, the people of Hungary who are going through a hard time, or the people of Botswana, then you're going to have to set up there. That's the way that is. No matter how much you are afraid to stay home and you don't know the language and whatever, you got to go enculturate yourself so that you can reach the people that God has placed on your heart. That's why I say it's not about your brand. It's about yourself, your audience, and your content. Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. Dosage knocked me out. Sat here for 10 minutes with my eyes moving, watching you. Otherwise, I'm sitting motionless. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well then I guess I'll have to do it. I will put it into the calendar. Oh, that's my calendar. Didn't look at my calendar. There's too many good things happen. Tomorrow, I guess. Morning? Sure. Post, taco, talk, and then put it in there. Okay, save. Womp. Okay. Need a chat full of millionaires with parasocial relationship issues that try to buy my attention. No, you don't need a bunch of them. You just need one. I'm still waiting on mine. I'm sure they're out there. There's a very wealthy man. There's an Elon Musk out there for all of us. Let's put that on a t-shirt. That'll probably get you punched in the mouth. When I say my brand, I mean I just figure out what I'm doing, why the content, who it's for. Make sure my content is made through the lens that works, does the job. What job? Yeah. Hopefully you heard what I was saying, and I'm not going to repeat it over and over and over. You get it. Yeah, no worries, Samus. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I can give the presentation, and we can just do it like chill mode. I need to do the Simon Sinek concentration circles with it. Okay, go nuts. I don't know what those are. No worries. Feel free to interrupt. We're gonna jump into this thing. We'll have a little talk about basically this is for digital content creators, right? All right, well, send it to me, man. You know where I'm at. And then we're going to, along the way. So this is the mission here that I was given when it came to the workshop, was for me to be able to jump in and kind of go, make a case for streaming, make a case for content creation, explain why it's important, and why churches and people should be doing it. And so that was what I was doing. I'm going to switch out for some soft jazz here, because I think that's easier to talk over. Okay, before I start, I just want to make sure that anybody who wants to hear this thing is ready to listen. And if anybody has a question beforehand, this is what I did at the workshop too. Got a question burning in your heart beforehand? Let's talk about that. Otherwise, I'm just going to launch into it. Is it? Okay, far out. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. All right, ready, set? Also know you do it too, but you just didn't know the name of it. Yeah, I'm sure, right? Yeah, it's what's known as common sense, but written down. Yep. All right. Hello, everyone. We're just do it this way. My name is Alan Deschanel, but online I go by XtianNinja. Did you know that I'm Deschanel? I'm a licensed pastor with the Alliance Canada. Was a full-time pastor for 16 years in traditional ministry, and was a full-time solo pastor of small churches. I was like legit pastor. A few years ago, my as I was going through kind of a big thing, right? I was going through a big thing. My burnout and what ministry should I do? And, COVID had come, and so the church had changed, and they couldn't afford a full-time pastor anymore. And so the question came, what am I going to do? God basically, through a very wise man, said, what are you doing now? And I was doing a podcast, but my heart wasn't just for sending out information. I was tired of preaching. My favorite thing about church was that I would come and I would be able to have what's called overtime. I do overtime, which is where we do the whole service and I'd be like, come on back and ask me questions and say whatever you want. And I loved that part. Overtime was great. How do I do overtime, but with the internet, right? That's what I want. You pick your last name for the bit? Yes. Yeah, I had it specially made just for me. And so that kind of, what I was doing was a podcast, which obviously isn't that. And so I started looking into live streaming. And as I looked into live streaming, that led me to Twitch. And I've been doing that now for almost 4 years. Well, over 4 years, actually. I just had my anniversary. I'm also the executive director of TACO, the Alliance for Creative Outreach, which is a network of Christian content creators that we train, we support, we equip people who do this kind of ministry. We'll talk about that a bit more later as to why. And I've taught a lot of content creators over that time. And I released a book called The Art of the Christian. I did a book called The Art of the Christian Ninja. That is another book, but this one's called The Art of Digital Impact. The Art of Digital Impact is specifically about helping Christian content creators to understand God's call in their life and how unique that could be. We have a podcast, we got all kinds of stuff. And so therefore, that's a big part of my life as well. Now, one thing that really drew me to Twitch after I'd looked at all the demographics and, YouTube and Twitch and all the options for live streaming was that the people that turned out hung out there, they were my people. They were like me, right? They were people who were like me. They were gamers. They were nerds. They struggled with mental health issues. They had church hurt, social disorders, learning disabilities. But all the way along, despite all those things that are kind of holding them back from going to IRL church or being part of IRL friendships and groups and whatnot, despite all those difficulties, they longed for personal and spiritual connections, honest conversations, some safe place they can go to be seen and feel important. Many of them want just like a good dad, a pastor that understands them, and they've got so many barriers in the way that they can't do that outside, or many struggle to do it, or they don't have time to do it, or for a million other reasons. And so what they do is they stay home and they use Twitch. Twitch is a big part of their life. I knew this wasn't going to be a hobby from the very beginning. I always started it as a ministry. But when I first started it, it was all going to be like just kind of me personally creating a community. That's I'm trying to find a better word. But like, it's just me going to be creating a little community of my own with those people. And it was very shortly after that God really showed to me that my calling that I thought was this new thing, doing this new thing, wasn't new at all. In fact, what I was supposed to be doing was taking all the stuff that I was doing as a pastor and extend it to be something that I'm doing on different space, but the same kind of job. It was about serving people and loving people and creating community and leadership development and organizational development and reach and outreach and discipleship, and all that stuff was still what I was supposed to be doing. It just was in a different place. And so that's how I started to approach it. The struggle that I had when I first started was that as I was trying to explain to people this new call, I would go to these godly men and these other pastors and these other people, and they would say the same thing. And they would affirm in my life that, I can see you doing that. That absolutely fits. Yeah, I can see God calling you for that. But at the same time, they would be skeptical. Well, some of them were skeptical, and some of them just wouldn't even let me talk. Like I would say, well, I'm doing this new thing. It's online. And, no, I don't want to hear about it. I don't understand the internet. I don't understand online stuff. I'm not going to get it. Don't even finish that sentence. And even though I'm trying to share my heart, share what God is doing, because it was online, it shut down the conversation, which really was a bummer. There's a lot of Christians out there that really struggle with digital ministry as not only just practically, like how do I do it, but also philosophically. despite the prevalence of the entire internet being everywhere online all the time, and with just so many people that have silly content, games, and everything on their phones and their Facebook feeds, and like all these folks who are struggling with the philosophy of online, they all participate in it. They're all part of it. But at the same time, when it comes up as ministry, they still disparage gaming culture and gamers, and by association, content creators and streamers, as some kind of weird anomaly, impossible to understand, often to be shunned. But it's not. It's not weird anymore. It used to be, back when I was in high school and I was the only one who knew how to run a computer, back when, like knowing Star Trek and understanding Star Trek was nerd stuff, but now comic books and board games and video games are as common as anything else, as music and sports and movies. Like content creation, YouTube is more popular for most than watching TV. Old TV's dying. People are drawn to these things, gaming, content creation, not because they're lazy or they're shallow or they're sinful or they're addicted, but because there's something in them that meets a very specific unmet need in their life. It's fulfilling a hunger. In one of my other talks I give, I explained that gaming fulfills 3 different hungers that Gen A, Gen Z, and everybody else is trying to get but isn't getting outside, isn't getting in their world. Purpose, agency, and belonging. I want to share this a little bit because I want you to understand why digital ministry is so important to these people. Why digital specifically? So let me talk about gaming for just a second. In a game, you have achievement and purpose. The progress is clear. You always know where you stand. You level up, you accomplish quests, you get new skills, you see a leaderboard, you know where you're at. You're constantly being rewarded for taking some kind of action. But real life doesn't offer that same kind of immediate, tangible feedback. In school, in work, even your spiritual life or at church, all that stuff, it's hard to know if you're getting anywhere. How much spiritually did you grow this year? How much are you smarter than last year? Where's your relationship quotient at right now? I could go onto a game, I can look and I can see that it's 7 out of 10 with that person. I can work on that. But I don't know what that's like anywhere else in the world. For a lot of young people, and really everybody else, they're craving something that shows that they're making progress, that their efforts actually matter, that they're becoming better at something. And games give that to them. Faith and life often don't. They want to be a hero. In life, they can't be a hero. In the game, they can. They want to be important. They want to be skilled. They want to be different. They want to be seen as special. They want to be the one, and they want to be depended on. But in the world, they're not. In the game, they are. Another one, agency and control. Think about your life. Think about the life of other people, right? Like your kids or anybody, really. So many of them feel like they are passengers on a train they didn't buy a ticket for, right? Politics, school, church, life, family, all of it is happening to them. It's not happening because of them. They don't get an opinion on what's going on. They're told what to do, where to go, where to be, what to believe. But in game, they actually get to decide. Their actions change the world around them in meaningful and noticeable ways. Sometimes it really, really does. They can succeed, fail, try again, grow. The more they play, the more mastery they feel they have. They have a sense of agency. Their opinion matters. Their positions matter. What they do matters. And they can actually control and change, manipulate, and affect life in the game. It's something they long for. They want it in real life, but they feel so powerless. The organizations are too big. The corporations are too big. The problems are too big. Nobody's listening to them anyway. And so where can they go to get a taste of that? Well, they go to the game. Another one is belonging and community. In online games, especially multiplayer games, people find their tribe. They have a role. Tank, healer, DPS. You are needed. Your team depends on you. You practice together. You celebrate wins. You mourn losses. You're part of something that can't function properly without you. And outside the game, they don't feel that. Outside the game, they feel like if they show up, people say hello. And if they don't show up, nobody seems to care. They miss school, if they miss work, if they miss church, if they stay in their room all the time, nobody seems to care that they're not there. But online, in their games, whether it be to virtual, non-player characters or to the actual teams that they have of real people, they're important. They need to be there. And then all that spills over into Discord chats and in between the game and inside jokes and shared memes and a culture that they become part of, that they're seen as a valuable person. They belong in that community. This is especially powerful in a culture where loneliness and isolation are at an all-time high. Despite being more digitally connected than ever, we're also more relationally disconnected than ever. We're in the midst of what experts are calling a loneliness epidemic. There are government health agencies that are declaring a loneliness epidemic. Studies are showing that people, especially young people, are getting record levels of anxiety, depression, social disconnection. Real world community for them is fractured. It's not like it used to be. It's fractured. It's hard to find where to go. It's intimidating to join. You can't just go to the park anymore and hang out and find a friend. Nobody's at the park, right? Everything is dangerous now. We've been conditioned that strangers are dangerous and teachers are dangerous and adults are dangerous and people are dangerous. Everybody, you don't know who to trust. It's all super intimidating. And therefore, it's easier to find online. Consider the church, right? Consider modern family life. Consider what life is like at their school. How often do you feel that people really feel a sense of believing they have meaningful purpose for being there? That they have the agency and permission to make changes where they are. The feeling that people actually belong there. And if they were not there, they'd be missed. How often for you during the day, in an average day, do you feel like you have those three things? Permission to make changes, feeling like you really belong, and a meaningful purpose for being. A lot of people don't feel that. But those feelings of being known, needed, important are very powerful drivers. And for many, they experience it way more online than they do at home or school or church. For a lot of them, online communities are replacing the in-person ones because they're more consistent, they are more understanding, they are more accessible than any physical place they've encountered. And the pool that they're drawing from when it comes to people that are like me is incredibly more vast. They may live in a small town, they may live in a big city, it doesn't matter. They have now the globe to pull from to see people that are like them, to understand them, that get their thing. When they go to online platforms like Twitch, YouTube, Discord, that's where they're going, not to just find information, not to just watch stuff. They're going there to be in part of a community. They want to watch, they want to participate, they want to see, they want to comment, they want to get feedback. And they don't get it in real life, so they get it online. Think about this, the older generation, right? My people before me, they watched television, they watched sport, they watched movies. That was how you consume media. You sat and you watched it, right? Gen Z does watch some of that stuff, but they watch esports streamers and YouTubers. The older generation would follow celebrities from a distance, right? They're just these people that are on, all polished up and living in Hollywood or whatever, and they're untouchable. Wow, that's so amazing. They're so glamorous. I could never be or meet them. Not today. They're not looking for polish today. What they're looking for is presence. What resonates with the people that are watching things and connecting to people today is the fact that they can go to a celebrity and they can meet them on X, or they can meet them in YouTube, or they can meet them on Instagram, or they can meet them and have a conversation with them. And the more communicative that person is when it comes to their social media, the more that the people feel connected to them, right? That's what they want. Consider that when someone goes to watch something online these days, they don't watch the thing. You talk to an old person, they will go and watch the thing. They will go watch a piece of news, or they go watch a piece of media, or they go watch a funny thing. Gen Z, Gen A will go watch someone watch it. They'll go watch a reaction video. They'll actually go find somebody who's watching it and who's talking about it. Now, why is that? Well, consider that because of the loneliness epidemic, because of all the things that are not happening in their life, all the lack of relationship, they just want someone to watch it with. And even if it's a pre-recorded video, even if it's not happening live, they get that parasocial relationship with that person so that they can feel like they're in a group. That's why reaction content is super popular. You wonder, well, why don't you just watch the thing? It's because they want to be in a relationship with someone. They want to react. They want to laugh along with. And you don't get that just by watching by yourself. They want an interactive moment with someone who says, I see you, I hear you, I'm here with you, let's experience this together. By and large, the church is still geared for people who watch from a distance, experienced only in special locations at a special time, with pastors that, for many, feel unapproachable, almost alien to those modern media-savvy citizens of the internet. They don't understand each other, not at all. And they would never walk up to a pastor, walk up to a church, walk in there and expect to be greeted, right? They expect, they're nervous as heck if they even consider that. This culture doesn't respond to watching. They respond to invitation and participation. The church, and it's crazy to me because the church has a long history of going where people are, learning their language, understanding their customs, sharing God's love in a way that connects to the culture, makes sense to them. Missionaries have been doing this for centuries. But when it comes to internet culture, with its own humor and language and platforms and shared experiences and all that, the church often doesn't acknowledge it as a culture at all. And that is probably the biggest mistake that people make in digital missions, is not understanding that internet people are different than other people. People who live perpetually online aren't different. And if you want to know, go talk to somebody who lives on the internet and is very plugged in, and then go talk to somebody who isn't. They don't speak the same language. They don't have the same culture. They don't share the same memes. They don't share the same interests. They don't share the same anything. It is very different, a very different culture. But instead of learning it and instead of reaching it, many just the Christians are just ignoring it or dismissing it entirely. Why? Why are they doing that? Because they see this thing, content creation, as something that people need to be rescued. Right? They need to be rescued from the game because it's damaging them. Rescued from the internet because it's wasting their time. Rescued from YouTube so they can get into real life. Rescued from the be able to sit there on Twitch or any other game where they're connected. Someone in the workshop pointed out, said, consider what we do for Lent. I thought this was a great point. We tell everybody to turn off their phones, and turn off their computers, and turn off their video games. Consider that something you might be asking them to do would be similar to you walking up to somebody of an older generation and go, okay, for Lent, I want you to not talk to your friends. I want you to not hang out with your friends. I want you to have no communication with anybody, and I want you to be alone. Because that's how they communicate. That is where they find their friends and their entertainment, their interests, and their groups. You would never do that. Why? Because that's deeply damaging. That person would have a terrible Lent. that wouldn't be good for them. We would never suggest that, and yet that's what we do. They don't see internet culture as a distinct people group, as a separate mission field, despite the fact that it is one of the most influential cultures in the world today. Another mistake many churches make is when it comes to their digital presence. They treat these digital platforms as tools to replicate the in-person services, right? They take a camera, they put it in the back of the room, and they use it as a sort of commercial for all the good stuff that happens when they come to the real service. Come to the real service. Come to the proper service. Come to our groups. Come to us. You come to us. But digital ministry and content creation isn't a broadcast. It's supposed to be a conversation. When you're on a live stream, it is not a stage. It is a conversation. It's a living room. YouTube and TikTok aren't pulpits. They're a front porch. Yes, there's a piece of content. Yes, they're watching it, but go to the comment section. It is where people are talking. Digital missionaries, and I know many of them, know the spiritual power and the impact that happens in the comment section, in Discord, in channels, in DM, in spontaneous moments that live on stream. Online ministry isn't less real. It's deeply relational. It's deeply interactive. It's incarnational. For many, their best friends, their best memories, the greatest sources of encouragement, their place that they find truth, accountability, and love happens on their phone. happens on their laptop, happens on their PC. And when we dismiss these places, call them dangerous, try to shut them down, say that they're not allowed to be part of that, or say that that is something that is inherently bad, we're not just ignoring trends. We're ignoring an entire people group. We are insulting an entire people group. We are saying we do not care about an entire people group. There's one thing I want you to do when you walk away after this, is that digital missions and digital spaces are as real, relational, and incarnational as the IRL spaces that you're in. And they should be treated that way. They should be treated that way. Not as though they are extra, not as though that they are performance. They should be treated the same way you'd treat any kind of real, intimate relationship, a real intimate place that you want people to feel welcome. Okay? So before I jump into the next part, any questions, any comments on that? I'm going to jump into chat before I go into the next little part here. Samus says, church being watched from a distance is arguably what's created the religious problems that are so prevalent today. Consumer mindset.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright.
No. No. I'm not doing that right now. I will do it. I will do it later. I'll do it later. Was that super loud? I'm sorry. Lumia, meme HUD. Trigger fire Lumia. Okay, turn it down. There you go. That happier? OBS change. My question is a cute headband. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I turned it all down for you. Yeah, all right, it all goes down. Yeah, I was sorry about that. I OBS changed. It's now louder. I don't know why. The balances are all off. I didn't change nothing. All of a sudden everything's wrong. Okay. No other questions? I will continue moving on. Oh no, I only got to the first part of what Emma said, which is to say that people think they are Christians because they go to church. They don't have a relationship with Christ that they're named after. And what I was going to say to that was, it's the consumerist mindset of being able to show up and kind of watch, show up and let other people do the job. This is the worship team. They worship. I watch. This is the pastor. He studies. I watch. This is the missions group. They go. I watch and send them some money. We created, whether we wanted to or not, we created a performance-based ministry. And you listen to all the pastors. I was a pastor. You try to get people involved, and their life is busy, and they have a million excuses as to why. But what ends up happening is you just go, okay, just watch me do it then, and hope people will follow along, and they just don't. Watching from a distance is not how to make relationships, which is what I try to teach to every content creator. What I try to explain to everybody who talks about digital mission is one of the mistakes that you're making is the fact that you think that your content is good enough to just stand on its own, right? It's probably not. It's likely not. What will set your content apart will be you having a conversation with the people that are interested, the audience that God has given you, the people that you want to help, the ones you want to bring them, people that are on your heart, that you're using your content to speak to start a conversation. That's when you're going to find meaning. And it won't be because you got 1 million views. It'll be because 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or 100 got it, they understood, and now all of a sudden you're seeing meaningful connection, right? If you're looking for 1 million views and you get it, it's going to feel empty. If you're looking to change lives and make impact and build community and ask and start conversations, and that happens 2, 3, 4, 5 times, you walk away feeling like you really did ministry. You really connected with folks, right? It's the same thing as having a church of 1 million people that everybody just kind of sits there and stares at the screen or stares at the pulpit, versus a whole bunch of churches that are much smaller, but they're able to communicate with each other, right? So, my stream. That's the core of what I do, what I just described. My ministry embodies basically all those missional principles that we just talked about. Going where people are, learning their language, loving their culture, offering real connection, offering the gospel peace, gospel love through that connection. what does it look like in practice? Well, basically, I stream 4 days a week on Twitch, usually for about 4 hours at a time, and that's intentional. I'm not just showing up to perform. I do talks, and I do things that people come and listen to and kind of sit back and don't participate in, because I am a preacher after all. I do love preaching, but it's also interactive during that time, and then I just kind of am there for a while after, creating space for people to drop in, ask questions, share life, get help, pastoral counseling, share something cool that's happening. My content is a mix of gameplay, biblical conversations, mental health check-ins, open AMA moment. It's the variety that I do isn't what everybody does, but for me, in the way I relate to people and relate to my audience, it matters. They may come for the bit or the talk or the entertainment content, but they stay because during that they've been seen, they've been heard, they've interacted, and I've interacted with them. Doesn't matter how good my content is or bad my content is, on a day where we're actually having really good conversations, connecting to each other. I usually will drop whatever I'm doing, even if it's going really, really well, pause and talk directly to that person who just showed up in chat. I use games because games are good conversation starters. They talk about morality and theology and real life changes, and we're able to bring that on. We're able to have that conversation. Games provide context, shared experiences, common ground, an emotional rhythm that makes space for deeper conversations to happen organically, right? We win together, we lose together, we experience the story together, we argue with the character together, we celebrate, we laugh together. It is a shared experience that launches itself into deeper relationship. My community has a lot of people in it. Believers, seekers, skeptics, people who have disabilities, people struggling with mental health issues, people who work from home and need some company, seniors with no family, folks who have been hurt by the church. And they're not looking for this perfect pastor that looks really good and is in a suit and whatnot. They're not looking for some professional presentation. What they're looking for is someone who's present with them, who understands their world, who can speak directly into it with authority and compassion and authenticity, that they're quote unquote real. They're looking for someone who is an agent of God, an ambassador of Christ's love and truth, but is willing to step into their space and say, you're not alone. God sees you. I do too. I value you. I validate you. I find what you are interested in interesting. Let's have a conversation about it. I'm not going to immediately start with disbanding all of your interests and now you can come talk. I'll enter into your interest. Now we can talk. That's how it's always been. Every missionary knows that. Christian content is not about being trendy. Chasing trends is not going to. It's about being intentionally available, creating a space where you can connect with people, just do discipleship, where people can get healed. I remember there's one regular viewer who came in one time, and he'd been around for a while, and he said, "You're more my pastor than the one at my church because you're actually here and you listen." Right? And I don't think he was digging at his local church, or I don't think he was digging at his pastor. Just part and parcel with having a ministry and lots of people. But here I am. It was a recognition of consistent digital presence. I wasn't just a guy on the screen. I was their pastor, available, present, invested every day, 4 days a week, every day on the Discord. I'm accessible, right? And as a pastor back in the day, I was a pastor for a long time. I would have said, I'm also accessible. Call me, email me, let's do something. But each of those would be, they have to reach out to me. They have to get on the phone. They have to come into the office. They have to come meet me for coffee. It was a far more difficult interaction for a lot of people, because talking to the pastor or going into that religious area is really intimidating. But here they're not. Here they're just showing up to a place that has video games, to a place that they're doing silly stuff. It is far easier for people to be able to approach me, the pastor, than it is for me back when I was a pastor and expert. I'm going to share one of my favorite stories for kind of how God works in this space. It happened recently. There was a young woman from New Zealand. She often joins my live streams, had been coming for a while, but one day she came into chat and immediately we knew something bad had happened. It was very early morning for her, 6 o'clock in the morning, and her parents weren't around. There's no family there. Turns out she was in the hospital. She'd been hit by a car. and was now facing a real possibility that her leg might need to be amputated. In that moment, she had fear, uncertainty. She was lonely. She needed to reach out. Who was she going to reach out to, right? She reached out to the online available digital community that she'd been with for a while. I trust them. I know them. They care about me, and they're available. I'm jumping in. There's always a Christian content creator available these days. We're ubiquitous. You can always 24/7. There's always one. Hard to do with the live, quote unquote, live church, right? Not that I'm disparaging live church, it's part of how it works, but we're here too. Throughout the week, she continued to share updates from her hospital bed. Community responded with encouragement and prayer and emotional support. And it proves that even from the other side of the world, we could make it so she wasn't alone. Our digital community became a lifeline to her, a very real one, a very meaningful one, a very personal one. And it's one of my favorite stories because it just typifies not only the availability, but the power of digital ministries, and how real the relationships really are. Before I jump into the next part, are there any questions? Anybody wants to say anything? I'm more than happy to pause before I jump into the next part. Nope. Okay. Boop and boop. So where did taco come from? Right? Where did taco come from? So while I was streaming, something became very quickly clear to me. And that was, since most churches aren't embracing digital missions, it's all the stuff we've been talking about, there are rafts of Christian content creators, gamers, digital missionaries, people who are online, operating completely outside of the church's influence, outside of discipleship, outside of accountability, outside of support. And so many of them were coming into my stream saying they had no idea there were even other Christian content creators out there, let alone pastors that were on here doing stuff. Others said that they went and they talked to their pastor, and their pastor said they weren't just brushed off, they were invalidated. They were discouraged. They were told that their interest is a waste of time. The people that they care about and want to serve are a waste of time, that they should quit what they're doing, quit their passion, quit caring for that person, and just move on. It is very sad. It is incredibly sad that there are how many there were, and I mean over and over and over and over and over. The consequences of them not being connected to the church is very noticeable. What I was seeing was there were passionate, God-honoring creators who were doing their best, that were being launched into one of the most influential mission fields in the world, with no training, no guidance, no community, no pastor, no church, no resources, and we're floundering. The internet is flooded with all this content: gaming, streaming, YouTube, podcast, music. But how many mature, spiritually grounded Christian creators are there? Not very many. Why? Because having a connection to a church, having an actual degree, having some kind of pastoral counseling, having an elder, having someone who's speaking into your life, who's discipling you, and also being a gamer, content creator, nerd, online person, those two things rarely mix, which is why you have a lot of passionate content creators who feel very alone, and theology is sketchy, but are doing their best. In my book, The Art of Digital Influence, I compare this to the biblical time of the judges. There was no structure, there was no leadership, there was no central guidance, and everyone just did whatever was right in their own eyes. That's what digital ministry is like today. Creators have a vision, but no map. They are undersupported, misunderstood, left to navigate all this complex, soft, and hostile space alone. Imagine someone came and said, I want to go reach XYZ country in the middle of nowhere that very few people have gone to. And the pastor said, nope. That's a bad idea. No. And then they went anyway because they loved those people and they were on their heart, because that was something that they cared about for a long time, because they learned the language and it was part of their interest. So they went to the middle of this dangerous country full of people that were really, really harsh, but no connection to a church, no standing organization, no finance, nothing, right? How good are they going to do? How long are they going to last? How long are they going to stay encouraged? What are they going to build when they're there, right? When churches dismiss digital ministry entirely, they're hurting real people, real missionaries. It's frustrating to me because in the denomination I'm part of, they were talking about how they want to grow and they want to reach more people and how do we do that and all that stuff. And I sat through this days of meetings listening to them talking about how they would do that. And of course there was global missions, and I'm not saying global missions are bad, but there was zero talk about anybody that was online. Zero. And it was driving me crazy because I wanted to climb up on stage and say, if you want to reach twice as many people as you're reaching now, there are people in their home who you will never see, who will never come to your church, who will never be in ministry, you'll never bump into at the library, they'll never be at the coffee shop because they are at home. You can reach them through Christian content creation. You can befriend them, you can share the gospel, you can serve them, you can help them, you can bring them health and take care of their actual needs. But you don't see them. They just don't see them, and it makes me crazy. And what breaks my heart is that there are so many digital missionaries out there that do see them, but can't get support. Can't get support from anybody. That's why Taco's here. That's why we started Taco, because our hearts were broken for these people, and it was for we gotta do this. We gotta step in. We gotta be their pastor. We gotta be their disciple maker. We gotta be their help. We gotta be their church when they don't have one. The challenges that Christian content creators face are myriad. Wave after wave of challenges. They have no accountability. The platforms themselves are antagonistic. They have no funding or structure. We've talked about this a little bit, but I just want to go over a little bit more. They have constant influence from exclusively secular growth models. Okay, so when they do go look for training, like, okay, how do I do this? It's really important. Everything they read, everything they watch, everything they learn is secular, not sacred, not Christian, not missional, not servant-hearted. And so therefore they're completely skewed about how they're supposed to, quote unquote, grow. They don't have role models. Back in the day, we could just go, I want to be a missionary. Okay, let's talk about Billy Graham. Let's talk about Hudson Taylor. Let's talk about any of the hundreds of missionaries. Let's go to missionary school. Let's read the missionary books. Take the missionary class. What can they do now? Who's their hero? Who do they go see? Who's the role model they follow behind? Who's done it right? Who's been walking that path? There are very few, and they are very obscure. And they have very little morale. It is so hard out there. Everybody who is not, many of them just feel really, really, really low. Like they're not making any impact. That God has called them to do something important. And yet so many are flaming out or going off course. That's where Taco came from. We're meeting these challenges head on. We do training, we do encouragement, we do community. We take all these cast aside content creators, tell them you're not alone, your calling matters, we're here to walk with you. We did a class, we did a book, we did a podcast. We're hosting creator sections in our Discord. We're going to be serving them live at a conference coming up. But from what I can tell, and I don't mean to say this with any kind of arrogance, it hurts. I think we might be the only ones doing it. I don't think there's anybody else out there. And why not? That's where I'm going to pause, and I'm just going to ask the question, right? So you've heard my heart, you've heard the potential, you've heard the issues, you've heard that there's missionaries waiting in the wings. There are rafts of people who need the gospel, who absolutely need to be communicated to in their own way, and that the church already knows how to do it if they're willing to step in. What will you do? What role are you going to play in digital space? What do you do already? Are there creators in your community who need support? Do you know them? Are they underground? Are they afraid to stand up because they're going to be handed every tech duty in the church, so they don't want to say anything? Are they going to get ostracized because they say that they're a gamer? Are you have underground missionaries who won't come out, but they're in your church? What challenges do you see engaging this digital mission field for you specifically? Like, you tried it, or maybe you're scared of it, or like for you in your context, it's hard because. What are those things? We'd love to find out. I'd love to be able to help if I can. And would your church benefit from training or some kind of partnership with Taco, or, with some kind of group to reach the online communities? Do you want help? That's what I want to talk about. That's what Taco's for. That's what I'm doing here. And we would love to be part of whatever you're doing. Come to my streams, ask whatever you like. Contact us through the millions of ways to contact. Just what would you like to do? That's all I want to know. Do something. What do you want to do? Okay, that was the presentation. Theology is sketchy. That's an understatement. I should joke. There you go. Though I guess some might say my theology is sketchy. I was told to work on my polemics. Honestly, it means I might be able to explain my position better. Nobody has perfect theology. Okay, that's one thing. Everybody's just making their best guess based on what they read. But yeah, if you don't have an elder and you don't have a teacher, you don't have a rabbi, and you're interpreting the scriptures by yourself, within your own context, with whatever you feel like, yeah, you're gonna go sideways. You are, invariably. Hello, EG Wife. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Educating the youth. Various platforms are multiplying, and I feel the need to adapt or die. As a doctor, you have to stay current. Yeah, well, that's it, right? There are a lot of things happening in the world, and you talk about being a doctor, right? There's a lot of ways to help people, and you find out that the way that you used to help people actually hurts people. Uh-oh, now I better change how I do things. And that's what's happening right now. That's, like they're being told, did you know you can't do this? It's actually bad. And now it's time to change and not keep doubling down on the old method. The thing that bugs me the most, and it really does bug me, is the fact that it's not on their mind at all. 0% thought. It's not like some people think, okay, I know China's rough. I don't think I can go there though. Okay, well, at least you thought about it. Some people are like, well, I know that, I need to go there. There are places in the world that could use help, could use food, could use some kind of doctors, could use missionary, could use whatever. And they thought, I'm not that person. I'm not for that. But I hope people are doing that. I wonder if people are. Maybe I can help them. But there's so many who don't even think of it. Doesn't even enter their mind. And when it does enter their mind, they dismiss it immediately because they think they can't do it. They think that it is inherent. And that just drives me nuts. It's very old school. If you've ever read any missionary books, you've ever seen anything about anybody who started anything Christian, it's the same thing. It's a guy said, God got a hold of someone's heart. Someone goes, we should do a thing. God really wants us to show them love. The established church goes, no, that's terrible. Let them die. And then they go anyway. And then years later are vindicated and open a door, and the church comes walking through and goes, you know what? We should have been doing this the whole time. What's wrong with us? Repeat endlessly forever. I just don't want us to do that again. Science changes. We do our best to educate, discern the research, and do our best while being upfront about what the complications can arise. Yeah, I mean, exactly. You do your best, but you try. But like you said, you need to do your best within whatever is the best thing today. And the best thing today. Like, I think the one that leaps to mind is antibiotics. Right. So for a while, antibiotics were a miracle. They just solved the problem, man. What you didn't see coming was that the prevalence of antibiotics would create superbugs. And then all of a sudden it's like, we can't be giving antibiotics to everybody all the time. That actually turned out to be not a good thing. We have to change how we do that. And you couldn't have predicted that when you first started giving antibiotics to people. But yet here we are. Right now you go to the doctor and you're like, man, that would be solved with antibiotics. I can't give it to you. Here's 12 other ways in a painkiller. Good luck for the next 12 days. Right? It's Yeah. But you never would have seen it come. I'm not saying that church is a plague by no stretch. I love the church. Many are doing good work. There are tons of Christians out there that love Jesus and are serving well. The issue isn't that I dislike church. The issue is that they don't see these people, and these people are people that I love, and I want the best. Did any of that resonate, or was that just a big long talk? What did Conroy say? This is entirely different from the guys who trash amputees. Keep saying they're Christian enough, and you get what you deserve. I don't know those guys, but they sound terrible, Conroy. Why would anybody trash an amputee? Tell them they're getting what they deserve. Although there are people out there that are like, they have very little compassion. That's true. Mostly because they don't have any experience. You want compassion, have an experience. That's what changes perspective. Right? You don't give two hoots about the poor people until you lose all your money. You don't care two hoots about the old people until you get old. You don't care two hoots about people with learning disabilities until you discover that you've had an issue. You care two hoots about whatever other political issue until you find out that that's your kid. What are you going to do about it? And then suddenly it matters. And that's just how humans are. It sucks, but that's how humans are. And until then, you could be quite callous. The question is, what are we being callous about right now? That's a big question, man. You know how we look at the old church and we're like, how were you able to defend racism? How were you able to defend sex? How were you able to defend hating an entire culture? How were you able to defend just deciding that hoax is of the devil? How did it was just a no-brainer and everybody believed it. That Dungeons and Dragons is going to lead everybody to hell. You just took it whole cloth. And now you look back on it like, yeah, that was pretty bad. What today are we taking for granted that we think is just normal and everybody should think that? Why does everybody believe that? And of course, that's how you think. That's of course what you think. That in a generation or two or three, we're going to think is absolutely psychotic. We're going to look back at today the way we look back at the Salem witch trial and go, what were they doing, those psychopaths? Did they even read the Bible? Or look back at the American South, where the Baptist churches were defending racism with the Bible somehow. And we're like, that is the worst hermeneutic in the history of ever. What are we doing now that we're going to look back in multiple generations? You were all crazy. I don't know. That's the problem, is that we're blind. Antibiotics, pain meds, list goes on. Yeah. More opioids. Yeah. Let's give those to everybody. Whoops. We should not give those to everybody. It's my job to treat these dialogues open. If you were my family, this is how I would treat. Yeah. That's a good way to think about it, right? Like personalize it. Yeah. I'd argue that I have few mentors, so sometimes I feel like they're busy. I'm also very much. I don't want to bother people, so it's complicated. Very rarely do I think my opinion is perfect, so I study text, read books a lot, which is good. I mean, that's good to be studious, and it's really important to do. I would say that everybody, though, everybody needs to have some kind of rabbi, some kind of elder, some kind of pastor, some kind of mentor, some kind of older woman, older man of God in their life. Otherwise, they're going to go silent. And unless you do that, it's going to be a problem. Period. It's just going to be a problem. If you think that you are wiser, smarter, better, clearer than the previous generation about spiritual stuff simply because you come along, you're wrong. Would I ever play the Hogwarts game? I when someone asked one time, I said yes. It's on sale again. Wow. It's funny because it was on sale and someone said, I'll buy it for you for birthday. I think it was my birthday. And then they went to go buy it. And in the time it took them to say, I'll go buy it for you, and that moment, the sale had ended. But what I said was, I'll play it, if it's cheap and, it'd be worth trying. It'd be kind of fun. I'm not hanging on it. I'm not desperate for it. And certainly if it's $80, do not buy it because it's not worth it. If it's on crazy sale, then, maybe. But I have a lot of games I've gotten on crazy sale that are just kind of sitting there waiting for me to do something about it. Do I need another one? I don't know. And I have to launch the Epic. Ugh, gross. Yeah, I saw that come in. My immediate thought was like, I already revised that. Now you do it. Do your job. I'm not. Go ahead. Record it. I'm sure it's fine. There is such a thing as too much editing. Yeah, RDR2 is a great example of a game I have access to. I got so many. Cyberpunk is one that I could play. I've got all these games that I could play. But today the plan is to play Destiny 2. At least I'm gonna see if I can restart the my profile, if that's a thing. Is that a thing? You just wipe it out and start over? Most of these games you can't. You need a whole new email address, a whole new login, a whole new everything. But I don't want to do that because I don't remember how to play it. And if I show up and I'm like standing in a field with a gun and the bad guys coming at me, you know, I don't know what to do. I'm assuming I have to put the crosshair between their eyes and click the button. But, you know, you can make a new character? Okay, good. I want to do that. I think I'm going to do that. But I don't want to jump into it just yet. I want to make sure that you guys know that you are, you're more important than Destiny. So if you have anything you want to say or bring up or talk about, by all means do. Today is Community Day. And if you have any recommendations for a community game, please give me some. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to sound very pious and possibly controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway because it's a pet peeve of mine. And that is when you give a recommendation to somebody who asks for something like that, what do you recommend? Do not give a recommendation of something you won't do. It's so funny to me because somebody will say, oh, you should play this. And then you go play that and they're like, oh, I don't like that game. I just heard it was popular. And it's like, then why did you recommend it? Well, because I thought you'd like it. I thought other people would like it. Based on what knowledge? Oh, I just heard that. Like, if I want your opinion, I want your opinion. The one that you'll like, the one that you want to play, the one that you want to see, the answer that you want to give, not some thing that you pulled out of your butt from the internet somewhere. I want to hear you, right? It's so hard to do that when you ask somebody, so what do you want to play? Or what do you think? Or what should I do next? Or what do you think of this idea? They'll often give you a hypothetical because they want to sound smart. And it's like, I don't want you to sound smart. I want you to tell me what you think. Where do you fall in the top between absolutism and utilitarianism? Utilitarianism is super dangerous, right? Like the idea that the ends always justify the means leads to some pretty scary, horrible stuff. And so therefore I'm not a utilitarian, not a utilitarian by any stretch. I think that the concept of utilitarian, of going, you know what, like, how many people are going to be helped? We should probably go that way. It sounds moral, but I subscribe to the Star Trek 2 philosophy of, you know, there's room for both, right? I'm going to look up what absolutism is because I don't think I remember what that is, and I want to make sure I get it right. Political doctrine and practice of unlimited centralized authority and absolute sovereignty. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I if we can do, somebody asked me, one of my kids, I think, like, what's the best form of government? And I'm like, theocracy. What? Yeah, the one where God's in charge. Not any God, the real God, the good one. Right? That's the best form. And that's what Israel had until they didn't want it anymore. Don't like the idea of someone making a choice and choosing the outcome. I think that's part and parcel with being a Christian, though, right? Like, it's someone else gets to impose their morality on you. Somebody else gets to impose their priority on you. Somebody gets to impose the usefulness of your gifts and abilities and talents and money, time. They get to tell you what to do with it. Like, that's just what it is to be a Christian. You are submitting yourself not only to serving God, but to serving others, right? You're putting yourself last. That's the idea, right? You are a servant of all. It comes with the territory. And so therefore someone else making choices for you and you not getting your way, right? Oh, sorry, I missed that I'm the one making the choice, choosing the outcome. Sorry, the opposite of what you said. I don't like the opposite of what you said. Yeah. Well, then you'd love Calvinism. Let me introduce you to my friend Calvin. But I mean, at the same time, like, you are making a choice and you do choose the outcome, right? I'm getting there. With the train scenarios and there's 4 people on one side and then one on another, do you flip the switch or not? If I do nothing, then I'm not killing anyone. If I move the train to one guy and stay the 10, I killed the guy. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Utilitarianism says, well, you should definitely flip the switch, kill less people, right? The leave it alone, it's not my problem, and I'm going to let someone die. Also, not great. It's not great, right? Some would be like, oh, I'm sure there's a middle ground somewhere, right? I'm sure there's a middle ground somewhere that you can figure out, derail the train here, hit the brakes or something. But, the idea, that's not how that works, right? But yeah, exactly. Did one guy, what is he going to cure cancer, and the other 4 are yeah, exactly. But, and so that's what makes it a difficult thing, right? And that's what the whole point of those thought experiments are, is not enough information, extreme scenario, so that you can have a conversation. But like, I think I can't do anything about it, so I'm not going to do anything. I don't think that's better. Choose based on race. Yeah, that's right. How much money do you have? Like, all together. Do you have more? Okay. Yeah, but it's just choosing to not choose is also a choice. Though people would say it's not. It's still a choice. It's 2 bad options. If I were to be thrown into that situation, honestly, well, no. Given the choice, I honestly think I'd flip the switch. Because of a utilitarianist mindset, that one person would get murdered or killed or ran over, as opposed to 10 people. Because if it's if there's one person that gets shot, they call it a murder, but if you kill more people, it's a serial killer, and everybody's scared of that, right? It's it's worse if more people die. That's pretty much what I'm saying. And it's not a great option, but I think I'd flip the switch, right? You don't know it's better. You don't think it's better not to do anything in the train scenario. The choice would be to let what happened to happen, aka God's will. That's not how God's will works, man. There was stuff happening down the track. Okay, like, you want to get real complicated. Why win this scenario? Who sinned? Right? Did the guy who's supposed to maintain the track sin? Did the guy maintain the schedule sin? The guy who tied up all these people, did they sin? Why are these people on the tracks in the first place? Those choices all factor in, right? Those choices all factor in. And so therefore, me choosing to flip is getting the least consequence to the free will that other people have exercised to be able to hurt folks. And I'm getting the least amount of folks. That's how I'd process it. But it's not, they didn't fall out of the sky tied up on train tracks and came out of nowhere. Things happen. Elijah says, I mean, it's ultimately the fault of whoever fixed anyone on the tracks. Whatever I do is bonus. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was saying. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying too. Is that idea that there's more going on. Who glued someone to the tracks? Why is the train coming? Why didn't they know what's going on? That things like that. We are actors upon a situation that is not, it didn't come out of nowhere. I've said it before. It's kind of like that one where, was it Anne Frank or something like that? Like if you were in Nazi Germany and you had Jews and they were in your, attic, and someone came to the door and said, do you have Jews in your house? Can you lie? Is it godly to lie? And the answer is no. You never lie. Lying is bad. It always is. Do not give false testimony. The end. But the situation that you're talking about is deeply unfair, right? Like, a lot of decisions were made to get you to that point. So was there a better decision? Was there something you could have done? How far back you go before that decision had to be made? How many ways did you compromise? How many ways did other people compromise? How many bad things happened? Who are you looking at? Who's the soldier? Like there's so much more going on that I don't believe that you can simply just decide to lie and suddenly that's a good thing, because lying is bad. His will could be to change the track. Well, that you don't know. Yeah, all you're doing is working with what you've got, right? And that's not in the realm of right and wrong. That's in the realm of do your best. I mean, saying it's worse for more people die puts value on people's lives. But how you look at both sides, devalue. No, it values the human lives equally in that when 10 of them die or 4 of them die, that's worse than if one of them. They are all equally, regardless of race, gender, use, financial, whatever. Just by virtue of the fact that there are more of them, they are of more value. That's where the math comes. We're not factoring in whether or not they're a doctor, whether or not they're a serial killer. We're just going, they're human, and we should try to save more of them. Everyone in the scenario is sin, and there's yeah, it's true. There's a lot of sin going on. Very, very true. When people pose the strange question, they want to get you, but you can flip the table, blind on them. If you care so much about human life and saving most people, probably bring people to Jesus. Just Jesus juke them. There you go. People love it when you do that. The commandment is do not bear false witness against your neighbor. Your enemy is another entirely. I don't know about that. I know what you're saying, and there are examples in scriptures of people doing the lying. But do not lie is. I think the words "do not lie." Let your yes be yes, your no be no implies what you're saying is true, right? That you're not, that your words matter, that lying. Yeah, I think you could safely say the Bible says lying is bad. Maybe not that exact commandment, if that's what you mean. Sure, we can argue with that. But I think you can make a good case that the Bible says lying is bad in all cases. And besides, to me, lying is an act of faithlessness, right? If God says that doing things His way will work out for the best, and you're in a situation and you have a choice between sinning by lying or telling the truth and trusting that God can work with it, then it's an act of faith to tell the truth, even though if you feel like it would be easier to go the other way. Girk says, have you heard of the school question? There's a school with a bomb and you caught the bomber. In order to find the bomb, get rid of the bomber has to tell you a code that would save everyone's life, and the kids would die if you don't. You torture the guy to get the info, i.e. torture what would save others. Do you torture the guy? Torture is wrong. So here's the thing. I think this one is a little different in that an agent of the state has a different morality code than someone who's an individual citizen. Okay? Is deflecting considered lying? I don't know, man. That, like, in that scenario, is it wise to just deflect and like distract and not lie, but do that? Probably. I think you can get around that. But if someone is looking you dead in the eye and asking you a question and it's kind of meaningful and hopeful, and they need it, like which way do I go and how do I? And you don't want to answer because you want them to get hurt. That'd be bad. I don't know. Right? That's what I'm saying. If you're an agent of the state, then you have a different morality code, and you can do things, including punish people and hurt people. That's allowed. but I'm not an agent of the state. So no, I can't. Nazi Germany is not a person. True enough. True enough. Yeah, I don't know what you're quite getting at there, Arija. The struggle not against flesh and blood, but against rulers. Yeah. I mean, Nazi Germany is clearly demonic. Right? That like the idea, the whole concept of is demonic. But like, I don't think you can make a good argument that you can lie to your enemies, even though it was done in Scripture. But you can factor that along the same lines as polygamy. You know what I mean? People shouldn't be polygamous, even though there's lots of them in the Bible that were used by God. Not allowed to be polygamous. It goes against God's law. But people did. Doesn't mean it was right. Kirk says, if the lie won't hurt them, the truth will hurt them, then what's the moral for it? Tell the truth. That person asks you to look fit, you say no. You lie and say yes, no. You don't feel bad until the truth to hurt them. Truth hurts sometimes. Right? If someone looks dead at me and they want the honest truth, I'll tell them, because that truth is what frees people. Truth is the light, is what shines light on things. Truth is always good. How I deliver that can be, nuanced to be a bit easier or harder or meaner or nicer. But at no point is telling a lie more loving, right? You're just adding more dark. And why would you add more dark? That's what the whole quote unquote body positivity movement, right? I actually don't mind the body positivity movement for the baseline idea of, you know what? Some folks just they got things wrong with their body. Let's not be mean to them or make, try to find this perfect idealistic Adam and Eve thing that we're all supposed to be. Otherwise we have less value. Sure, I'm okay with that. But the issue, it didn't stay there, right? It didn't go to, let's not just be mean to somebody because they're fat. Let's not be mean to somebody because they have a disability or a disfigurement or something like that. Yeah, let's not do that. But then it became, you can never say anything negative ever about anybody at any time, even if they're killing themselves with food, right? It's just that's just wrong. You should be able to look at someone and go, dude, you are super unhealthy. You need to change your lifestyle. I can't be positive about what you're doing because I love you. Killing yourself. Nazis were our neighbors as well. There you go. Interesting. Good line. I like that. Connor says, I've had 3 cars since I've lived here, and one neighbor keeps asking in different ways about it. He's obvious he's mad. I deflect. I tell him my dad owns those cars because he does, and not deflecting. He still thinks I'm hiding and has a secret job, which is against the rules. Because you have a car, he's mad at you because he thinks that you shouldn't have that, and he's got a conspiracy in his head about secret rules. Man, that sucks. That sucks. None of his business, though. That's something you can do, is not engage. I think that's often the right response, where it's just you know what? I'm not going to engage with that. I'm going somewhere else. I'm not going to be part of that. I think that's very appropriate at times. You're like, what if you did this? What if you had that? What if you just left? What if you weren't there anymore? Then you have to deal with that. Is that always the right solution? No. But is it sometimes the right solution? I think so. Making the assertion that you could lie to a person acting as a representative of principality because principality. Well, here's an example. If I dress up and I pretend to be someone else, and then I am committing fraud and I'm doing all kinds of stuff that isn't good. If I'm an actor and it's my profession and I dress up and I pretend to be somebody else, within that context, of course, everybody makes sense. Nobody's going to be like, you're a big fat liar. It's just, that's my job and I'm doing the thing, and it's the whole, it's not bad. if you're an agent of the state and you are undercover and you go in and you use subterfuge in order to be able to catch the bad guy, I believe you're under a different morality because you are an agent of the state seeking peace, seeking to help the citizenry, seeking to shut down the bad guy, right? And so therefore I think you have a different thing, right? It's not the same. Like, I can't kill people. Soldiers can. Who told you that I'm an agent of the state? Are you? Understands acting but doesn't understand playing Among Us. Shake my head. Oh, that's an interesting line. That's an interesting line. I'm not pretending to be anybody but me in Among Us. I'm me. With my voice. I'm talking to people about things that I really did or did not do. That's not the same as acting. Those are not, I don't think those are equivalent at all. Nobody comes to see me on stage, and when I go, say something horrible to somebody because it's in the script, it's nobody's gonna go, that guy's the worst. Except the pink lady from Harry Potter. Everybody thinks she's the worst. It's kind of a problem for her. But in Among Us, I'm me. Because they're not gonna say my stage name. They're gonna say me. Ask if I'm lying. I don't think it's the same. Video games, you're pretending to be the character in a way that how games work. In a game where you are a different character, yes, but you're not a different character in Among Us. You're you. Right? You're you. I don't think that's the same. Because that's sort of similar to... Thank you. I appreciate that, clearly. It'd be like saying, because I'm on the internet, all the people I'm having a pseudo affair with aren't real because I'm using a pseudonym and they're just internet people, so therefore I'm allowed to emotionally have an affair. No, you're not. Yeah, bad guys who are played really well and become sort of that iconic, thing. People, yeah, there's a lot of people who can't separate, the reality. I'm gonna make sure that I check my calendar. I have a meeting at 4 o'clock. My life is busy. What are you gonna do, man? Golly, I got stuff to do till 9 o'clock today. I don't want to, though. Hey, Zach. You talk to yourself? I do. Sometimes they need an expert opinion. That don't mean anything to you. After all I've given you. I know, you gave me a Prime sub. I remember that one time. Yeah. True. And then immediately paid a bunch more to make my life miserable. So it canceled out, man. They canceled out. Kid to play the evil king in the Game of Thrones used to act after that because part of how badly strangers treated him. Yeah, right? Yeah, people are dumb. People suck. A lot of people suck. Not all people, but a lot of people. Some of them suck. Kind of want to get into D2 to play with you in your community. Okay. Yeah, I don't see a refund button. One-way trip, baby. Actually, that actually is a problem for some streamers, apparently. Is that because they do PayPal and they get donations through PayPal? And some people, I don't know how it works because nobody's ever done it to me, but will donate $10,000 or a big pile of money, and then something try to get it back from PayPal, which somehow hurt the person who got it. I don't know. It never happened to me, so I don't know how it works, but it could be like a jerk move, which is why you can turn that off and say, I don't do return. I've also heard that Americans would correct J.K. Rowling how to pronounce her own name. Yeah, probably. Because they spend it and then it gets refunded. Oh, they spend it and then it gets refunded. Is that what happens? Maybe wait a couple days. How long does it take? How long does it take before you get a charge back? 3 days? A week? 30 days? Just don't spend it. Not that hard. They move it to their bank and then it gets refunded, so they get over. Oh, see the overage charges I can see being crappy. Yeah, if all of a sudden there's like a penalty involved. First person gets a penalty for the person getting for a refund. See, I guess there's always ways that you can be mean to people. I'm not diabolical enough, man. I have no idea how to be diabolical, and I'm kind of glad for it. Every time I hear about some scam or something that people are doing, I'm half impressed and half like, how do people think of that? You know what I mean? How do you do that? Like that one guy that he started sending bills that he printed himself into Microsoft or Google, and he just kept sending in bills, and he like sent one in for, I think it was like $100 or something like that. It came back and he got the money, and then he sent in another one. Eventually he got like bigger. He's like sending in $120,000, and they were just paying them, and the money was in his account. I think he made $125 million, and then he got like super greedy, and he got caught. But like, how do you think of that? I wouldn't have the guts for that. Go to jail for a very long time. No, thank you. Try being diabolical sometime. You'll love it. I wouldn't know how. Is the root word of diabolical Diablo? I'm going to check. Diablo, meaning devil in Spanish, is a root related to diabolical. It also means devil. It is. Yeah, it means to be like a devil. Yeah. So don't do that. That's what Zach wants. See what Zach says? He wants me to be Satan. That's what he said. I went to college with a girl that sold Genshin accounts. Felt sinful. Hit enter anyway. Went to a girl with a college that sold Genshin accounts to pay for school. She would use a credit card to whale the account and then refund everything as soon as the account sold. Total scammer. She did get caught. You could do that? You could go do a bunch of stuff and then get your money back? I assumed you'd never get your money back. Like once you sent that money and you were done, that was it. No more for you. But you can get your money back? Maybe I should try to get my money back from Honkai Star Rail. I'm not using it. I'd like a refund, please. I should change that. I should change that immediately while we're talking. I've said that every day this week. Chatbot. Timers. Announcement? Taco party Friday. What is this Friday? Friday the 25th. Friday, April 25th. I might not be there. I've been to all of them, I think. 25th at 6 p.m. Yep. On Donnie's channel, Donnie Green channel. Twitch.com/Donnie Green. Cool. Save. Fixed. But the game will give you negative currency and you have 30 days to bring your account or your account is deleted. Oh, that would be even worse. Imagine buying an account and all of a sudden it gets deleted. That would suck. Yeah, because Twitch, that's a whole other thing. I found out that I get free delivery on DoorDash because I'm a Prime member. And I went looking for what that meant. And it doesn't mean much. Like, most of the stuff, I still have to spend $15-20 in order to get the free. It's not free all the time for everything. I can't, like, hot shot a coffee to get it to my house and you get free delivery. They require you still a bunch, and I'm like, I don't spend $15 anymore at the fast food joint. All right, so that's cool. Should we jump into Destiny for 30 minutes before I have to go to my next meeting? Good golly, today is a busy day. I still feel a little ripped off. I'm so glad I gave the talk anyway, even if I bored everybody to tears, because I worked so hard on preparing it, and then all of a sudden I gave like 20% of it, and it was like, bye, you're done. What? I'm not done. Prime ain't paying the Dashers gas. Well, exactly, right? Exactly. I assume I don't know what that meant because with Prime, I do get money. Like when Zach gives me a Twitch Prime, I get money. You know, so it's not. I assume I don't know. Maybe do they not do that with the Dasher? Free to player to buy DLC. I didn't pay for nothing, man. What are you talking? I did notice that there was a lot of it though. As a DoorDasher myself, I still don't believe in tipping on it. My dad still doesn't believe I'm reading that free DoorDash delivery right. I mean, it'll tell you, man. It'll tell you if it's charging you. It'll be on the bill. Okay, Destiny. Let's try it. Is it our destiny to play Destiny for a while? Let's find out. Install Battle Eye. Oh, goody. Anti-cheat stuff. In order to serve its protection, it's going to give away my email address, game identifiers, information about the operating system, information about the game, my operating system files and memory, information about running processes, the file names included, other information listed there. Neat. Bring it on. Send it all. Yeah, I'm going to try Destiny 2. See what happens. I don't know. I don't know what a clan is. Okay? I'm a baby. I am a baby infant baby playing this game. So got along. Hopefully it went well. How you feeling today, Jones? You feeling better? Or did that throw you back into worse? I will once I figure out what I'm doing, I'll let you know. Until then, couldn't tell you. Oh, is it one of those games that takes over my entire computer? Flick, flick, flick. Everything's flickering. All of it. Wow. Calm down, game. What just happened? Why does it want everything? You can't have both monitors. And I can't use my Windows key? Okay, neato. I'm going to give you guys the audio. Let me know if you can hear it and if you're happy with it. Great HDR. I leave HDR off because you guys can't see it, and I don't feel like it's fair. My date of birth? Okay. Scroll, 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 scroll. I think tipping culture actually had made me stop eating out and going to places. Oh, it's crazy, man. I once had someone say no. Like because I didn't tip enough. I couldn't get it delivered. I do tip because I'm in America, right? Yeah. Get HDR on it. You would be. No, they have a setting now on the new OBS to turn that off. It would be fine, actually. I would be fine to turn it on, so it looks nice for me. But in my mind, I'm streaming to show you, so I want to see what you see. No, they didn't say no. Nobody would pick it up. That was the problem. How come you guys aren't hearing it? There we go. What a pretty game. Gherkin, what if they had to go to the bathroom? Yeah. RWS setting, and it doesn't work that great. Still looks worse than having standard SDR. There's a setting. Wow, you look bad. Why you look so bad? I'm going to create a new one. Can I delete this one? Modify. Nope. Create a new one. Okay, help me. Was it? There's a filter you can put it on so it looks fine. You can get around it. Not the end of the world. If you know a way not to make HDR look terrible on stream, I'd love to use it because the filters and stuff make me look worse. It's so like, apparently there's a setting in the I don't know thing that you just click and it turns off HDR. I didn't try it. I don't use it. Warlock Space Magic. But me do shooty pound boom boom. Disciplined and proud, Titans are capable of both aggressive assaults and stalwart defenses. Defense is gross. I hate defense. Defense is for sissies. Doesn't look that great. Okay, I've never tried it. Yeah, dude. You should. I'm glad. You should care about that. It's part of your display. Hunter rewards, good crosshair placement, and boom boom. That's kind of the one I'm leaning towards. The problem with Magic is it usually has a lot more rules, man. Thanks for the follow, dude. I think I'm gonna go Hunter because it's more straightforward. Quick on their feet, quicker on the draw. That sounds like it's good to me. Body 1, body 2. Oh, I can be a chick. He looks grumpy. I don't know. Do I want to be a chick or a dude? I don't even know. Let's see what we got. Ah. Ooh, no. Ah. That's better. This guy. Then I don't have to pick. Yeah, no worries, Elijah. Come on back anytime you want. I like the purple eyes though. Oh, hold on. I like the purple eyes. Can I pick a face? Hold on. Oh, I get to pick. Oh, all right. You don't even get eyes. Too bad. How are you gonna see? How am I gonna shoot things with no eyeballs? I don't like the look of this one. It's so ugly. It's scary. Exo. That's a little better. I guess. I don't like. Ugh, gross. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like the thinner helmet though. More alien. Titan can do raw destruction like a Warlock can and has really fun supers. But Titans get better survivability than Warlock does, while the Warlock gets the option to heal their own team. I played all the classes through to the max. They're all fun. This Titan is the easiest to have fun. Like Warlock is best. Hunter to me, it feels like a sweaty option. Oh, great. Really? Did someone agree with him? Or disagree? Did I just pick the worst option? Wouldn't surprise me. Warlock funds are more fun. You know what? I'll just listen to the person who said Warlock is good and the other one who said Warlock is better. All right, I'm going to do this one now. Kind of like, yeah, I'm going to go with that one. I think it looks cooler. I don't like the big thick face. I don't like any of these options. I guess that's kind of better. In color. Ooh, that's what's changing. All right, cool. I play Hunter. Might try Warlock again, though. Usually play Hunter. Everybody plays Hunter, and now I'm wrong. Ah! Yo, purple. Why are you so bright? This actual purple? No, this is purple. That looked kind of purpley. That's more blue. Mouth color. Purple? Purple. Purple. Red. Ooh, I kind of like red. Maybe yellow. Actually, yellow looks pretty cool. Eye color. Definitely purple. So that means the complement should be burgundy. Oh, that's very ninja. That is very Christian Ninja. Warlock said the best ultimate in the entire game. Well of Radiance. And Warlock tends to be buff based. What is that? As in, like, I need to buff myself and I gotta wait for somebody to help me? Or is, like, this may try with each for an hour. Last change is courage. But can you do it mid-game, though? Like, as in, I can use the same character, or I gotta make a whole new character? Hunter's about mobility. I love mobility. That's my favorite thing. Running and gunning. Oh, gross. Ability buffing the party. Gross. Hunter's signature ability is a dodge. Titans get a wall. Warlocks get to AoE. Yeah, I don't like AoE buff. AoE makes me gag. I hate AoE. My least favorite thing in the world. Double jump or a jetpack? Double jump. I'd rather have double jump, I think. Okay, let's go. That looks good. Face. Yeah, we're good. We got yellow mouth. Eye color, purple. Yeah, that looks sick. Head feature. No. What? Can I turn you? No. Oh man, that looks so stupid. You look stupid. Oh, that's the most stupid. I might go with that. Put some earballs on there. That's so dumb. No, 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 no. I gotta do this one. I'll make them orange. Nah, that's not a good orange. Burgundy? Red? Yellow? That's blue? Ah, blue's kind of nice. Yeah, we'll do a dark blue. Oh, that's classy is what that is. I just like the Warlock jetpack, but I should give it another try. That's actually the reason I switched to Hunter. Because of the jetpack. Oh, really? Hunters get double jump. Titans get Warlock jetpack. I like double jump. Double jump is like old school. I think parkour is harder on the Hunter personally. I can't go wrong really with any of the classes. I usually pick based on my favorite super. The Warlock can become Flaming Sword God or Darth Sidious. The Titans get to be Fire Thor as well. The Hunter gets to be Legolas or Spurgeon. I think I'm definitely more Legolas than anybody else. I think that's the way it works. Oh, what's my marking? Just a splash? Like an oopsie doodle while I was doing crafts? I kind of like the oopsie doodle while I was doing crafts. That's pretty good. What craft was I doing? Well, if I make it yellow, it looks like I spit my own eye. I like that one. That one's kind of cool. Looks like I like scraped it off. Something bad happened to my eyeball. That's good. Can I modify its body? I did it. Oh, that's it. That's all I get. Okay. Wow. I was expecting more, you know? That's what I was expecting more. Please say that to your wife on stream. Which one? Say what? I say a lot of things. Uh-oh, am I in the way? I should... The makeup is just failed craft. Craft on your face. Bungie? You know you're in old school when the resolution is so low. Like, we made this video back when 720p was the highest resolution we could do. Ooh, they started with the Top Gun. Meow, 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 meow. D1 abridged. All right. I don't remember watching this the first time. Did I just skip it? I never do that. I like the movie part. More in the game, usually. Mars present day? That's today. You don't know, but they are already on Mars. Oh, this is new. Okay. Been a little while. Like literally, I think I tried it my first months as a streamer. I don't think that's supposed to be there. Elon got us to Mars and then we found the Death Star. Well, dang. It's always the last place you look. They're already on Mars. I got left behind. Aw. That's too bad. Maybe they didn't like me.
Some say
Who says?
this universe is made of light
Most of it's dark.
and darkness.
Yes, those are the two.
These ancient forces flow through all matter and energy in our solar system and beyond.
Because everything's made of it. Yeah, that's what you said the first time.
But we haven't always known this. When the Traveler arrived in our solar
It's
system,
broken.
they called it many things. A ship, a planet, a god. Its presence provoked and inspired great change. It terraformed several moons and planets.
My video card's having a hard time.
Our lifespans increased threefold.
Ooh, all the way to a 300? Or
And we launched
240?
colony ships to settle worlds beyond our own. This was our golden age. But like all golden ages, it was doomed to collapse.
bummer.
The Traveler was pursued by an ancient enemy, a
Greed.
voice in the darkness. It found us. Humanity lost everything. With the last of its strength, the Traveler pushed back its enemy to create something new.
It's so bright.
Ghosts.
Calamity Ganon.
In the dark times that followed the collapse, the ghosts chose the first light bearers.
Okay.
Immortal warriors gifted with the power of the Traveler's
Is it?
light.
That's cool. I know what Aki was using words yesterday.
Humanity
They were
faced many threats in those
very
days.
philosophical or biblical or stuff.
Invaders from beyond our system arrived in droves.
Oh, I hate those guys.
Pirates, called the Fallen, came to scavenge the remains of our golden age.
We'll get ukulele into Destiny too.
The warlike Cabal came for our territory and resources. For
Maybe we're using
conquest.
those.
The Hive, ravenous worshippers of death, came to feed their infernal hunger.
That's okay. We got Taco Bell.
And the Vex, strange living machines, came to recreate our world in their own brutal image.
Cyberpunk. I'm in. Let's do it.
We fought with each other as well. For a time, chaos reigned. Though in the end, we came together.
Well, if it's that long and
To
that many
build,
creators, I'd
to
imagine it gets a little
heal.
wonky.
We built a city under the Traveler, the last safe city of Earth. In this city, humanity lived peacefully in all its forms.
That's nice.
The humans,
I'm annoyed that
Earth's
my video
original
card is pooching.
inhabitants, the Exos, marvels of the Golden Age, and the Awoken, a people touched by both light and dark. Lightbearers took an oath to protect the last city. Over the centuries, they earned the title Guardians. The Titans, paragons of strength and bravery. The Warlocks, mage scholars trained in the arcane arts.
Etc.
And the Hunters,
Oh, that's me.
bold adventurers gifted with cunning.
I don't have cunning. I only have the weapon.
Guardians know that when they stand together, they are stronger.
Lots of extra reading. Yeah, like watching shows and
now-
fan art.
New threats
To
use
understand
our
it all.
own powers against us. The Black Fleet closes in, edging us toward a second collapse.
It's just instinct at this point.
And our
Kirk.
greatest adversary the voice in the darkness
That guy?
is revealed.
Oh.
A
Is he a bad?
being of unimaginable power.
Oh.
The witness. But all is not lost. Brand new guardians rise every day.
One rising right
Shape
now.
The future of our solar system
I get to play the menu game.
and beyond.
Yay! Give me a menu. Give me a menu. I love the menu game. It's my favorite part of the game. Who is the witness? I don't know. He's the most powerful being in every. He's Galactus.
Guardian?
Yeah, what?
Rise up, Guardian.
What? I'm sleeping. Leave me alone.
It worked.
Sleeping in a junkyard.
You're alive.
Kinda.
You don't know how long I've been looking for you. I'm a ghost.
Hi.
Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you?
Did I die?
Well, you've been dead a long time.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to see a lot of things you won't understand.
I see cars.
This is fallen territory. We aren't safe here. I have to get you to the city. Hold still. Don't worry, I'm still with you.
Huh?
We need to move.
Oh no,
Fast.
we need to get to the menu fast. Okay? Something's wrong. It's broken. I think they turned on HDR and they shouldn't have. Alright. Open settings. This is live, so they're gonna kill me. Video.
This
Window.
place is an old cosmodrome,
Shut up.
a Russian spaceport. It's quarantined now, and quite dangerous, but our only way forward is through that wall.
Can I just make the brightness lower? Can we just do that? I don't know. The midpoint should be the midpoint. I don't know. Is it the brightness? The brightness the issue? Okay. Let's see if that worked. Is HDR on? Did I just miss that part? Graphic, custom, motion blur off. Oh, there it is. HDR off. Golly. I mean, I have an HDR display. That's the issue. I don't have it turned on. Okay, now we're gonna go back up here. Okay. Off. Save. Yeah, no, it was crazy. Yeah, there you go. Okay, that looks a million times better. Cool. Hey, I can look at the distance and I see things now. Whee! Whee! Can I go that way? Whee! I cannot. Me. Yeah? Ooh, look at me. What? Now what am I doing? Help. E, there it is. All right, I'm back. Looking good too, man. Can I change to third person view? I really like playing in third person. Is that possible? Third person's way more fun. Gameplay. No. Colorblind mode, no. Video. I don't think so. Bummer. Way more fun in third person mode. Down there. Can I sneak down there? No, that's where I want to go. Nope. I'm allergic to rocks. Okay, good to know. You look at the game like it's open world. I know. I just want to see what happens, man. Content, bro. Whee! I sure can jump. I can double jump. And I can go on a sign. That's fun. Whee! Jump. 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 Neato. Gross. Entering the Cosmodrome.
need to get you back to the city. To do that, we'll need a ship. But first, I need to find you a weapon. Let's keep moving.
Okay. Let's find me a weapon. Do 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 do. Everything here's so friendly.
Careful.
No.
They're all around us.
Look, it's one of them.
It's a risk, but I'll get us more light.
Please do. Why is it scary? You didn't say this game was scary.
Check. Frayed wires and rust. Check. When I flip this switch, expect trouble.
Okay, great. So much for find me a weapon.
Definitely not happy to see us. There's a rifle. Grab it.
Got it. Objective complete. I
I
win.
brought you back for a reason, Guardian. You're a hunter. That means you're not afraid to take risks. So, keep moving.
'Cause this
and
mission?
be ready for a fight.
Okay, this way? Where? Which way do you want me to go? This way? This way? That way, probably. Oh, video games. I remember video games. Look at the shadows. Oh. Look at the filter. The smoke. Anything in there? Can I have something? What are you? Gimme. No. Not gonna give me it. Hello. Stop. Stop. Point. Point. Stop. Your face. It absorbs bullets real good. You had never said this game. Whoa! Hello! I don't melee. I shoot in the face. Very, very different.
Stay focused. If your tracker blinks, there's trouble nearby.
What tracker? Where's my tracker? Oh, up there. Aha! Hello. Oh, bye, Greg. I hate Greg so much. Later, Greg.
The Fallen are scavengers. Alien pirates picking at humanity's remains.
I heard there's not much left. Hey, sleepy wifey. You surprised? Why? I'm known for being a gamer. I'm a gamer.
Speaking of pirates, there's a loot cache. Let's take
Nice.
this inside.
What'd I get? I got a better weapon. Or worse. One of the two. I don't know yet. Ooh, shotgun. Very grindy. Oh, that's okay. I'm used to... Just two? No, that's okay. I'm used to gotcha. Gambling and gotcha. That's what I do. Oh, I like my shotguns. They are super fun. Bap! Oh, yes. Hold on 1 second. Just reload real quick. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate your patience. You're too slow, this gun. You guys are slidey. Love that kickback. Oh, hi! Shoot at me. Switch to the other gun. That's much quicker. Everybody needs to die. Stop.
More Fallen. Hit him with everything you've got.
I've only got 2 guns. That's what I'm gonna hit him with. Alright, cool. Everybody line up. Thank you. Yeah, right there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, you have a shield. That's not good. That guy's a jerk. He's playing funny. Alright. Whoop. Alright. Can I go around the back of this guy? Shoot him in the butt? Where are you? Where'd you go? Ow! Punch, 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 stab. Punch, punch, punch. Stab. Stab. Shoot! That didn't work at all.
Your light is strong.
What's my super?
buddy.
Have a super? What's my super? We're getting him through a raid 100%. You can play this game any way you want. Yeah. So first things first. I'm going back here for just a second because we got a problem. Light subclass. As a garden, you've gained access to untapped potential of the light. F1 to open your inventory. Oh, sorry. That scared me. That's not F1 at all. F1. I did it again. Okay. This is the part that we get to just spend our time in menus. I freaking love menus. Gunslinger. Unfocused void energy. I like slinging guns. That was not... I hit F1, didn't I? That's F1. The other one was enter. Okay. Cool. And then K. Cool. And then okay. But nothing else. It just wants me to change this. Is this what it's telling me to do? Speak with a core array in the tower. Oh, I don't have nothing. Place your cursor over the active subclass. Press right click. Oh, okay. All right, fine. Active subclass, right click. Woo! I should read. Triple jump. Marksman dodge. No, that's dumb. Knife trick. You're a fan of flaming knives. Do I even have to read the next? No, it's flaming knives. Yo, thank you, my friend. Look at that. Thank you for subbing, my dude. I appreciate that. Well, we're using the knife trick. I don't even see any reason to do anything other than that, obviously. I gotta go to settings for just a sec. Because I gotta put my melee on another button. Melee. Oh, let's see. So, melee. Boop. No, that's auto melee. That's not what I want. Charge melee? Uncharged melee? Probably. I don't know. Auto melee? I assume that's it, right? Auto melee. Let's do that. Light attack, heavy attack, block, jump. Block is also C. Neat. And I'll figure out the rest of the game later. Usually the next one I do is the grappling. I assume there's a grappling in this. That's the stuff! There's no grapple? I quit. Forget this noise. Why would I even play? I have to be done in 10 minutes. Hello. I should probably not touch that. I'm gonna touch it. Nothing.
Keep pushing forward. I'll locate a ship we can use to fly home.
I triple jump. 1, 2, 3. If you can't get anywhere with triple jump, you know, there's something wrong with you. This is as far as I made it last time. In there. That's it. That's as far as I got. I recognize this.
Heads up. A fallen raiding party.
Oh.
We're in more trouble than I thought.
No, we're good. Hello? Hi. I may have to leave. Crap. Hello, Weezum. You're not here, are you? Are you a guy? Are you a person? Are you my friend? I think I made a friend. Bap. 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 Bap.
I'm scared.
Your headshots aren't working. I need their headshot. How about one of these? Ah!
Focus on the fallen.
Hang on fire. What about you? Huh? I can only punch things now. Oh, that was terrible. That was
No
awful.
ship, but I'm detecting a friendly signal nearby.
Oh.
They may be able to help.
I
Okay.
repeat, this is Shah Han. My Vanguard operation is compromised. I'm separated from my strike team.
Vanguard. They're from the last city. Shaw, where are you? We can help.
Cass, Maeve, if you're hearing this,
I have to quit. I apologize. That was very unsatisfying. I know. But we'll get back into it. Tomorrow's another day, and we'll be back into it. I got a meeting in 10 minutes, so I have to use the bathroom and do all kinds of stuff before I start it. But dudes, thank you for that. Thank you for sticking around. Yeah. I did. I know last time I made it past that little gate, and I got to drive something. That's what I remember, and then I quit. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. That was very, very term I can't use on the internet of me. But other than that, we're gonna raid out. Oh, let's read Warrior. Come say hi. Oh, he's watching the conference. That might be fun. He wants to play D2. Yeah, y'all go play. I'm gonna go be official pastor licensed guy with the denomination in a boring meeting. You guys go ahead and play video games. Fine. Play them in my honor. But other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Sorry I was late. And I'll see you hopefully at the right time tomorrow. We'll see. Bye-bye.